Christ Triumphant, October 13th, Daily Devotional by Ellen G. White. Heaven's triumphal reception of Christ. Lift up your heads, O ye gates, even lift them up, ye everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in. Psalm 24, verse 9. Christ longed for careworn, oppressed, weary human beings to come to him, that he might give them the light and life and joy and peace that is to be found nowhere else. The veriest sinners were the objects of his deep, earnest interest, pity, and love. But when in the greatest need of human sympathy, in the hour of his greatest trial and heaviest temptation, the most promising of his disciples left him. He was indeed compelled to tread the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with them. An atmosphere of apostasy surrounded him. On every side could be heard sounds of mockery, taunting, and blasphemy. What then was the outlook for his disciples, left in a world that would not tolerate the Son of the living God? Christ's work was finished when he expired on the cross, crying with a loud voice, "It is finished." John chapter 19, verse 30. The way was laid open, the veil was rent in twain. Sinners could approach God without sacrificial offerings, without the service of a priest. Christ himself was a priest forever after the order of Melchizedek. Heaven was his home. He came to this world to reveal the Father. His work on the field of his humiliation and conflict was now done. He ascended up into the heavens and is forever set down on the right hand of God. In Joseph's tomb, he wrapped himself in the garment of immortality, and then waited in the world for a sufficient length of time to put beyond doubt the evidence that he was indeed risen from the dead. He rose from the dead to become familiar with his disciples preparatory to his ascension, when he should be glorified before the heavenly universe. All heaven waited with eager earnestness for the end of the tarrying of the Son of God, in a world all seared and marred with the curse of transgression. He ascended from the Mount of Olives in a cloud of angels, who triumphantly escorted him to the city of God. What a contrast was Christ's reception on his return to heaven to his reception on this earth. There was no sorrow, no suffering, to meet him at every turn. There was no scowling priests to exercise their ingenuity in finding some word of his that they could misinterpret and thus gain opportunity to harass, abuse, insult, and deride him. In proportion to Christ's humiliation and suffering is his exaltation. He could have become the Savior, the Redeemer, only by first being the sacrifice.